Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. If you are new, we are doing 31 days of Halloween and today is day 6. I wanted to do a fairy look again. I did do a fairy look during my first 31 days of Halloween. It was one of my least favorite looks, I would have to say. I feel like it's one of those looks that I look back on and I'm just like, ugh, I could have done so much more. I could have done so much better. We're gonna try it again this time around. I decided I wanted to do a lavender themed fairy. So lots of like cool toned purples, maybe some iridescence as well. I made like a lavender flower crown and it'll be fun, I think. All right, so let's get started. I want to keep my skin tone for this look. I originally wanted to do like a purple skin, and I'm not gonna lie, this is my second time filming this look. The first time I did do like a purpley skin tone and it didn't feel right. It didn't look right, I don't think. Maybe it's just the way I executed it, but I think I wanna go my natural skin tone. I already did my eyebrows how I normally would, using the Benefit Brow Gel, 24-hour brow setter gel, and my NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in the shade Espresso. And I did just lightly kind of just clean it up underneath with concealer, and yeah, that's about it. So I think we're gonna do our base first and then we'll go into the eyes. So I'm gonna start off with priming my face. I'm gonna use the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. As you probably know by now, if you've watched the 31 days, these are my two go-to primers, the setting spray and then the Milk Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer in my T-zone. Taking just a small amount on the back of my hand. I also like to get my under eyes as well. And I do want a glowy base, so I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion, and this is the shade Medium. I'm also gonna keep this like on my cheeks and the perimeter of my face. I'm not gonna really go in on my nose. I love this stuff. I think it makes my skin look so pretty. I think I like it more than the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless filter, I think. And I think I want to underpaint for this look. So with the concealer, contour, and everything, because all the powders I want to add, like I want to add a lot of blush and maybe even some like purpley contour. So I'm gonna do my normal stuff first, foundation, and then all the fun stuff on top. I'm gonna start with contouring. This is the contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the shade Medium Deep. I kind of squeezed a lot out, so I'm going in with a very light hand. And it is very aggressive, but that's okay, because we are underpainting. Just went crazy on the nose. Okay, we're looking crazy right now, but that's okay. Definitely trust the process here. Okay, next is concealer. I'm gonna use the Hourglass Vanish Concealer in the shade Beach. It's a little on the forehead. And do some setting spray, and then blending out with a sponge. I'm not going to cover that contour just yet. I'm gonna go over that with foundation. After I blend out the concealer, I like to go back in with whatever was left on my contour brush and kind of just touch that up. All right, and for foundation, I'm gonna use the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and I'm in the shade Vanuatu. And I'm gonna apply it with a brush first, not taking it on the contour just yet. I'm gonna blend that out onto it. And with the same sponge that I used for my concealer, this is very like similar to what I do. I do switch it up between underpainting and not underpainting, but this is basically like my normal base routine. So I'm blending it out everywhere that it is, and then I'll take it onto the contour afterwards, just kind of with whatever's left. All right, now before I set it, I want to add blush. So I'm also gonna use this Rare Beauty blush. It is the shade Hope. And then to add just a little bit more pink, I will add this shade Happy. And I want it to be very blushed, so I'm gonna add quite a bit, and onto my nose as well. I'm gonna follow that W shape. And for the shade Happy, I'm just gonna add 3. So like 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Taking a brush, To set my face, I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder, and this is the Sugar Cookie just white translucent powder. Making sure I'm not setting any creases. I'm going to take a little bit of this Infallible bronzer from L'Oreal. This is the shade Deep Tan, and I'm mostly just going to take this on the outer portion, just right here, and then just slightly around the perimeter of my face. Just a little bit under my nose, just for a slight lift, then just slightly to round out the tip of my nose. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with powder blush, and I'm gonna use this one from the Liz McGuire ColourPop. It's one of like the coolest pink tones that I have. It is the Delish Pressed Powder Blush. It's got some sparkle in it as well. And I'm gonna be pretty heavy with this. I'm already starting to feel like a fairy with just this. I'm gonna take it all over where I applied that liquid blush in that like W shape. A little bit on the tip of my nose. I'm gonna add highlight now. I'm gonna like do more with the eyes and incorporate it more into like the blush and whatnot, but I'm just doing the base right now. So I'm gonna take this highlight from the Nicole Guerrero palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is the shade Forever Lit, and it's like a white highlight with some cool like blue purpley undertones, as you can see. Taking that on the top of my cheekbones and slightly onto my cheeks. I'm being pretty generous with this as well. And a tiny little brush and highlight my nose. And I'm just kind of taking it like on a straight little line at the tip of my nose, just right across, and then down the bridge of my nose as well. I'm gonna do my lips, my upper lip, temples, my forehead. So I'm going to take a break from the face and I'm going to move on to my eyes. I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I'm tapping it all over my lid, slightly under my lower lash line as well. Now the two palettes that I'm going to mostly be using, actually 3 palettes that I'm going to be using for this eye look. First is the Blends palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. This is just one of the most versatile palettes you can get, so definitely going to be playing around with some of the purples in here. Next is the Jewels and Gem palette from Odin's Eye. I love this color story so much. Got a lot of shimmers in here that I want to work with. And then probably the palette I will use the most is going to be the Aurora Struck palette from ColourPop. It's just got some really pretty lavender purples in this palette. Okay, so first I'm gonna start with the darkest purple in the Blends palette, which is the shade Bewitched. I'm gonna take this on the inner portion, not quite on my eyelid, but like my socket, I guess. And just lightly pulling it this way. I'm not taking it to my inner corner. I'm also gonna take it on the outer corner. And just lightly feathering it into a wing. And I switched to a like smaller, denser brush just to really pack it in there, get it a little bit darker. And I'm gonna take the lightest purple in the Blends palette, which is the shade Giggle. And this is, I would say, like a true lavender color. And I'm just gonna take that to kind of blend out those edges of that darker purple. I'm using a very light hand just to along that purple, along that Bewitched shade. I'm kind of just taking it on top as well. And just slightly pulling it out. Okay, just to darken it just a little bit more, I'm going to take the shade Intoxication from the Jewels and Gem palette, this one here. And I'm just gonna take that right in the center of where I have that first purple. And then very closely to the lash line. I'm not gonna take it on that whole area, just very close to my lashes and then into the wing. Now I'm gonna take a brush and a little bit of micellar water, and I'm just going to cut this inner portion of my crease, just like that. And kind of clearing the inner corner as well. A little bit of that Hydro Grip Primer. Now I'm going to use purple shimmer in the Aurora palette. It is the shade Comet Seekin, and I'm also going to use this darker one down here, which is the shade Stargazing. So I'm going to start with Stargazing. I'm going to take that right above this darker area down here. I'm not going to take it all the way down, just right above this portion. Now going in with Comet Seekin right above it. So we're gonna kind of go for like a gradient. And I want to use a much lighter shade closest to that cut that I made. So I'm not gonna take this one all the way up, just to about right here and out. I will blend this section a little bit afterwards after I'm done applying these shimmers. Now I'm gonna take the shade Borealis. It's kind of like a pink and blue two-tone like shift shimmer. It kind of is similar to the highlight that we used. And a smaller, precise brush. I'm gonna get as close to that cut as possible. I'm gonna take this kind of like a vanilla white shimmer next to the Borealis. It is called Head North. I'm gonna use that to highlight the brow bone. This just kind of blends all of those layers together here. A little bit of stargazing, just bring it out a little bit more into that Head North. Now I want to add these chroma flakes from Glisten Cosmetics. They're very like iridescent glitter flakes. I'm gonna add those to my inner corner. So I'm taking it on this brush. I'm just gonna press that in the corner of my eye. Now I'm gonna bring that Bewitched shade a little bit further down, almost onto my nose, but not quite, just like a little bit onto my nose, the bridge of my nose. Just right to here. A little bit of Giggle, to that lavender, to just blend that out. Just to make this portion look a little bit deeper, and lightly pushing that into my eyebrow as well. Okay, so now I'm into the under eye. So what I did first was I took this purple Pastel Dream eyeliner from LA Girl. It's the shade Lavender, which is perfect. Now I'm taking that Stargazing shimmer. I'm taking that very close to my lash line. Then lightly just kind of blending it down and into that wing. And I'm going to take light purple in that shade Giggle in the Blends palette, and I'm just going all underneath my eye with this shade and into that highlight. Going back in with Bewitched was that darkest purple in the Blends palette, and just taking that and deepening up my lash line to kind of blended away that Stargazing shimmer. And now I'm taking like a duochrome shimmer topper Rhapsody in the Jewels and Gem palette. Just taking that on my finger and just tapping that on my lower lash line. And I'm not being too precise with this, kind of even dusting it onto my cheek, my under eyes. I'm gonna even take that on my brow bone, just lightly tap it, and onto the tops of my cheekbones. Give a little sparkle. Okay, I'm gonna add lashes, and then I think I want to add some like flowers, maybe some like little rhinestones to my face. I'm gonna do lashes first. I just went and quickly added mascara. I want to add white freckles. So I'm going to use this white liquid liner from ColourPop. It's from their Nightmare Before Christmas collection. I'm going to start adding rhinestones. I added one here just to kind of get an idea. I'm using these that I just got off Amazon, and this one comes with like silver and then like iridescent. I'm using like the iridescent rainbow type ones. And I'm using the 3rd largest size. Alright, and for glue, I'm using Spirit Gum. And I think I'm just gonna do some until that like cut ends. Probably do like 3 more. Now I have these little leftover flowers from the flower crown that I made. So I'm just gonna cut the petals. I'm gonna separate the petals, and I'm going to place them on the sides. Also using Spirit Gum for this. So now I'm gonna do my lips before I add lashes. So first I'm gonna take the Giggle eyeshadow that I use for like under my eyes. It's like the lightest purple in the blend palette. And I'm just going to blush my lips, just like my upper lip, a little bit of my lower lip, and in the corners of my mouth. And I'm gonna use this lip liner from NYX. It is the shade Espresso. It's like a very cool toned brown. Really rounding out my upper lip. I want it to be like very pouty and just lightly shading in the corners. To fill in my lips, I'm gonna use this lip pencil from Makeup by Mario. It is the shade Toasty, and it's like a very pinky mauve, a nude, mauvey nude. We're doing a very brown girl friendly lip. Now for gloss, I'm going to use this one from Tarte. It is the Maracuja Juicy Lip, and this is the shade Hibiscus. Mostly just focusing that on the center. Now I want a little bit more purple to the lip, so I'm going to take a little bit of this Milk Makeup Odyssey Lip Oil Gloss, and this is the shade Voyage, just in the center of my lips. Okay, so now we're gonna make it a little bit more whimsical with our lashes. I have these really big ones. They're from Eldora. Oh my gosh, these are so fun. I'm kind of obsessed. Okay, and I think I'm gonna use maybe just a few of these on the bottom, probably like maybe 2. I don't know if I'll do 3, but definitely 2. And there's already a lot on top, like going on top, so I'm not gonna use like the longest ones there are in this little pack. I think maybe just 1 on each side. I'm gonna try 1 and then we'll see how we feel. And I'm not doing it on the very far outer corner. I'm gonna do like right here with that dry glue, because right now it's very visible. Just to re-blush the tip of my nose with that same Lizzie McGuire blush. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. I'm going to do something with my hair. I do have a wig, not sure if I'm gonna use it. I might just use my natural hair. And then I'll add the flower crown. I'm not sure if I'll add contacts. Okay, and this is the finished look. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I think it came out way better than the first fairy look that I did for my first 31 days of Halloween. These are the same fairy wings that I used last time. Just got them from Spirit. I think they still have the exact same ones. And I just pinned them because those straps are just way too small. Yeah, this is the flower crown that I made. I ordered faux bunches of lavender from Amazon. Just a regular headband from Walmart. Hot glued them on, and then I just added some other purple flowers that I got from the craft section at Walmart. Yeah, some leftover flowers in my hair. The ears are also from Spirit Halloween. I did cut them because the way they came were much longer and really kind of rounded at the end, and I wanted them a little bit pointier. So I cut them and then sealed them with liquid latex and a little bit of scar wax. I did add purple contacts. I was kind of torn between gray, even green, or purple, but I figured it's a lavender fairy, have to go with the purple. And yeah, I was thinking I did order like a purple wig to go with this look specifically, but I kind of liked my natural like hair. These aren't my natural curls, but just my natural hair. I did add a lot of curls. I did curl my hair to be extra fluffy for this. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. That is day 6 of 31 days of Halloween. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I did add a little bit of highlight to my collarbone and my chest, just to kind of make it a little bit more cohesive. All right, that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow.